Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial will be stitches from Animal Crossing. If you have seen my previous vlog, you will know that he does take quite some time to make, but the pattern itself isn't difficult or anything. A lot of the stitches are very beginner friendly. The only part I would say that is more difficult will be the sewing portion. Even if you don't enjoy sewing as much, I can assure you that this will be very worth it because he does came out super cute. For the materials, you will need stuffing, pins, scissors, 3.5 mm hook, 1.5 mm hook, embroidery needle, yarn needle, and stitch markers. As for the yarn, you will need medium weight yarn or size 4 yarn in purple, light orange, orange, light blue, dark blue, green, white, yellow, and dark pink. You will also need 6-strand embroidery thread in blue, green, light pink, yellow, and dark brown color. If you are new to crocheting, please make sure to check out my Amigurumi 101 playlist. In that playlist, you can learn how to make different crochet stitches along with the sewing techniques you will need in this tutorial. First, we are going to make the legs, and we will start with this green color medium weight yarn along with the 3.5 mm hook. First off, I'm going to show you how to make a new loop. You're going to cross over your yarn. You see how it's a loop? Fold down that loop over the longer side of the yarn. Grab your hook, put it under this piece of yarn here. Now you're going to hold on to both of the tails and then pull. Now you have your loop. And then you can also resize the loop by pulling on to the long end of the yarn. So now that you have your loop, just make sure that the loop size is about the same as your hook size. Next, we will make 2 chains. 2 chains, put the yarn over your hook and then you can pull through your loop right there. One more time, yarn over hook, pull through. So now we have 2 chains. The next step is to make 6 single crochet into this first chain right here. So we are going to push our hook into the first chain, yarn over hook, pull through. Notice how now you have 2 loops instead of 1. Yarn over hook again and then pull through the first loop, pull through the second loop. This is what we call a single crochet in the US, okay? We need to make 5 more in the same location. So let me push my hook inside that chain. Now yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. This is the second single crochet. We need to make 4 more. So again, yarn over hook, yarn over hook, and then pull through both loops. That's the third single crochet. Let's insert your hook into the same location, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. That's the fourth single crochet. 2 more. Yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. 1 more. Insert my hook, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. So as you can see, if you need to pause your work, make sure to just pull out your hook like this to widen the loop so that your piece don't unravel. That's how you can pause your work. And by the end of this round, you should have a total of 6 stitches. We will count starting with the first stitch in this round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 is where we pause the work right here. At the end of each round, make sure to use a stitch marker such as this one, or you can also use a scrap yarn to mark the end of the round. I personally like to mark the last stitch of the round, which is this one. I can just insert my stitch marker under these 2 loops right here, and then rotate it, and then it will stay. And to continue with the work, simply put your hook back, and you can pull on this long end of the yarn to reduce the loop size. And then that's it. You have the first round completed. Alternatively, if you know how to make a magic ring, you can just do 6 single crochet into the magic ring and it will give the same result. Before we begin round 2, I just want to talk a little bit about the anatomy of the stitch that we have. So after we made the single crochet, 6 of them in the first round, if you just take a look at one single crochet, this is what it looks like. And if you look even more closely, single crochet comprises of 2 loops. So the front loop, which is the loop closer to the middle here, and then the back loop, which is this loop further away from me. When you make another stitch on top of that single crochet stitch right here, you will have to insert your hook right under both loops unless the pattern says otherwise. So right here, since the second round, I'm going to start off with making a single crochet. I need to insert my hook through under both of the loops. Then we can make single crochet by yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, and then pull through both loops. Alright, and since the pattern of this round also need one more single crochet, I'm going to insert my hook into the stitch after, like this. Yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. So by far I made one single crochet in the first stitch, another single crochet in the second stitch, and on the third stitch you will have to make something called an increase, which means you will just make 2 single crochet in the same stitch. So to do that, let me insert my hook into the third stitch of this round. Yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. Okay, so that is just one single crochet in the third stitch, but since I need to make one more, I'm gonna insert my hook into that same stitch and then make another single crochet. So now we have an increase because there are 2 single crochet in the same stitch. That's the stitch number 3. And for the last 3 stitches of this round, we are going to repeat the same stitches we have made. So it's going to be 1 single crochet in the 4th stitch, 1 single crochet in the 5th stitch, and then an increase in the 6th or last stitch. So let's do that. Okay, there's 1 single crochet, and then let's make another one on the stitch after, and then on the very last stitch we will make an increase. So let's insert my hook. There's 1 single crochet and then 1 more. Here you go. And since now we are done with round 2, let me count the number of stitches for you. So let me pause my work and we are going to count. You should have a total of 8 stitches in this end of round 2. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. And on the last stitch, make sure to insert your stitch marker so you know where each round starts and ends. After the end of round 2, you're going to notice that your circle is starting to curve. How do you tell if you are making the crochet on the right side? Meaning that, is this the right side or is this the right side? Like, should the crochet be flipped this way? So typically the easiest way to tell is, you see how like in the middle you have this tiny short end of the tail? So this tail should actually be on the inside, kind of like, you know, having the tail inside like a ramen bowl, like a noodle in the bowl. So this is actually the correct side. For round 3, we will follow a sequence similar to round 2. Round 3, let's make 3 single crochet, 1 in each stitch, then followed by an increase. So let's start. 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, we did make 1, 2, and then 3. And then on the 4th stitch, make an increase. 1, 2, that's an increase. Let's repeat the sequence one more time. 1, 2, 3. Then on the last stitch, make an increase. 1, 2. That's it. So let's mark the end of this round. Then for this round, you should have a total of 10 stitches. So let's count from the first stitch of this round. So it's this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let me put this on the other side. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If this tail is too long, you can also cut it if it's in the way. I'm gonna chop it a little bit. So it's not in my way. For round 4, we are going to single crochet around. What this means is you are going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch and then do that until you reach the end of the round. So let's start. Now I'm inserting my hook into the first stitch. We'll make 1 single crochet, then insert your hook into the next stitch, then also make 1 single crochet. Just keep doing that until you reach the end of round 4. And then once you reach the last stitch of the round, take out the stitch marker and then make 1 single crochet. Then you can pause your work and then insert back the stitch marker like this. So at the end of this round, you should also have a total of 10 stitches. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. For round 5, let's repeat a sequence that is 4 single crochet followed by an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then make an increase. 1, 2. That's an increase. Repeat the sequence one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then increase. 1, 2. That's an increase. Mark the end of this round. For round 5, you should have a total of 12 stitches. Make sure to count. For round 6, we are going to single crochet around, and you already know how to do this because it's the same thing as what we did in round 4, except that now we have more stitches. So let's start. There's 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just gonna keep going until I reach the end of this round. Then don't forget to mark the end of the round. So for the end of round 6, you should have a total of 12 stitches. For round 7, let's follow a sequence. This time you're going to make 5 single crochet followed by an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then make an increase. 1, 2. That's an increase. Then let's make 5 single crochet, then increase again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. On the last stitch, make an increase. 1, 2. That's an increase. Then mark the end of this round. At the end of round 7, you should have a total of 14 stitches. For round 8, all you need to do is single crochet around. So let's get that done. Okay, now that we are done with round 8, you should have a total of 14 stitches. And because it's the last round, we will not need to mark the end of this round. Instead, we are going to finish it off. To finish off your work or fasten off your work, all you need to do is put down your piece, grab a scissors, and then we are going to cut out the yarn. In this case, we don't need to leave out a long tail, just give it some length. Then let's pull out your hook just like this until this piece come all the way out. And that's it. That's how you make the leg. Now it's your turn to make the other leg with dark orange color yarn. Next, let's make the arms. We are going to start with this green arm. First, let's make a new loop, which you should already know how to make. And then we are going to chain 2 times. 1, 2. After this, insert the hook into the first stitch, then make a single crochet. Repeat that again until you have 6 single crochet in that first chain. We have 1, so I need to make 5 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At the end of this round, you should have a total of 6 stitches. Make sure to mark the end of the round. However, I'm going to skip for this time just because I think it's easier to show you on the camera without the stitch marker, because the stitch marker is sort of big and is kind of blocking my view. I will mark it at the end of the second round. For round 2, your sequence is an increase followed by 1 single crochet, then repeat the sequence for 3 times. So let's start. I'm going to make an increase in that first stitch. 1, 2, then followed by 1 single crochet. So as you can see here, this is 1 sequence. Let's repeat that for 2 more times. 1, 2, there's an increase, and then followed by 1 single crochet, then repeat the pattern or the sequence one more time. 1 single crochet, okay, then this is an increase, and then 1 more single crochet. So this should be the end of the second round. I'm going to mark the end of my round. At the end of this round, you should have a total of 9 stitches. Let me count it for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. For round 3, all we need to do is single crochet around, which is self-explanatory. Simply make 1 single crochet in each stitch until the end of the round. And at the end of the round, make sure to insert your stitch marker. So for the end of round 3, you should have a total of 9 stitches. For round 4, we are going to follow a sequence, and that is 2 single crochet followed by an increase. 1, 2, then let's make an increase. 1, 2. So as you can see, we made 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then an increase. Repeat the sequence for another 2 times. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's an increase. One more time. 1, oopsie, 2, 1, then that's an increase. Mark the end of this round. At the end of round 4, you should have a total of 12 stitches. For the next 3 rounds, round 5 to round 7, all you need to do is single crochet around. So because it's very repetitive, all I'm going to do is I will meet you at the end of round 7. And here's the end of round 7. You should have a total of 12 stitches in this round. Since it's the last round, let's finish off. And that's it. Now it's your turn to make the other arm using dark blue color yarn. Next, we are going to make the shirt sleeves. So we're going to use this white medium weight yarn with, again, the 3.5 mm hook. First, let's make a new loop. But this time, you are going to chain 13 times. 1, 2, 3, oopsie. Sometimes I went too fast and my hook sliced off. Okay, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You can also recount it to be sure, but once you have 13 chains, you can start making single crochet. Typically, when you're trying to make single crochet right after a chain, you would always have to skip this chain that is next to your hook. So you see how you have a hook inside a loop. This loop doesn't count as a chain, but the one next to it. So this is the chain that you will skip. So you're gonna start with this next one. Okay, then let's make a single crochet. That's 1 single crochet. You're going to keep going down the chain until you make a total of 12 single crochet. Okay, and that is our last single crochet. So let me stretch out the piece a little bit so it's looking more straight, and also count the number of single crochet or stitches. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 and then 12. So now that we are done, let's finish it off. Going to leave a slightly longer tail this time in case we need to sew. Okay, just like that. Yeah, so now we are done with the sleeve. Make sure to make one more for the other arm. Next, we are going to make the shirt hem. The pattern is almost the same as the arm sleeve. The only difference is this shirt hem will be much longer. So let's start by making a new loop. Then we are going to chain a total of 31 times. So make sure to keep count. 1 2 3 4 5 28 29 30 31. If you're unsure if your counts are correct, make sure to count again, but I'm going to move on. Next step, we are going to make single crochet. It's going to be 30 of them until you reach the end of the other side. And as always, you would always want to skip this chain right next to your hook, and then I'm going to insert my hook into the second chain next to the hook and start my single crochet. Now once you're done, let's make sure to stretch out the piece a little bit more because it tends to spiral. Okay, like this is good enough. And since we are done, let's also finish off. And make sure you have a total of 30 stitches if you count right from the top. Okay, so by far we have made the arm plus the shirt sleeve. We need to join these two pieces together, kind of like this. Okay, so in order to do that, we are going to use this light blue color yarn, and then we're going to crochet the next round and crochet both pieces together. First, let's make a new loop with this light blue yarn, and I'm going to insert my hook into this corner of the sleeve. Notice the location of the tail. Then let's grab the arm, and I'm going to insert my hook into a stitch on the arm itself. Okay, now we are going to make a single crochet. So that is yarn over hook, pull through. See how you have the two loops, yarn over hook, and then pull through both loops. When you do a single crochet like this, you basically are single crocheting over the two pieces together. So it's going to join. So treat this as the round 8. Okay, next let's insert our hook into the next stitch on the sleeve. And then you're also going to insert your hook into the next stitch on the arm. Okay, and then make another single crochet. Yep, that's how you join those two pieces together. We are going to keep going. Alright, for round 9 we will need to change to white color, and usually when you change color, what I like to do is I will undo this last single crochet. So let me pull out halfway like this and only leave 2 loops. So I'm going to insert my hook into these 2 loops. Then let me grab a new color, and I did say that we are going to change to white color. So let's grab that white yarn, put it around your hook like this, and then you are going to pull that white yarn through the last 2 loops to help complete this current single crochet. So right now it's going to look sort of messy because we have a bunch of tails, and we will sort this out one by one. So first, let's take care of your white yarn. So for white yarn, you will have this long piece of tail, and then short end of the tail. Right now, you are concerned with this long end of the yarn and also the short end of the yarn. Short end of the yarn should go to the back, long end of the yarn come to the front. And we also have this blue end, which is this long one. So both short end of white yarn should go into the back, long end of blue yarn go to the back. Okay, and then you also have this green yarn, which also should go to the back, and then this short end of the blue go to the back. Now what you have here is these 2 white yarn that came with the sleeve remain to the front. It's totally fine. Okay, we're going to sort it out in this way, and this long white yarn will be our main yarn that we will crochet with. Okay, now we can really start round 9. So for round 9, the sequence is 2 single crochet followed by a decrease, and we will repeat that sequence 3 times, but for now we will do it step by step because we have a lot of tails that we need to clean up. First, insert your hook into the first stitch of the round, which is this stitch right here. Let me see. Okay, this stitch right here. Once you do that, make sure that all of the tails here. Okay, so we have 2 blue tails, 1 white short tail, and then 1 green tail. You're going to put all those tails over your hook after you insert the hook into the first stitch. Okay, now put your white yarn over your hook and then pull through. You're going to yarn over hook again and pull through both loops. By doing this, you basically like wrapping over the remaining tails alongside while you're trying to make a single crochet, and this will help to hold down or secure those remaining tail in place, and it's pretty neat. Now we don't have to worry about these tails no more because it's secure. We're gonna leave it in the back, and let's continue with this round. So in the second stitch, make 1 single crochet, and now on the next 2 stitches we will make a decrease. To make a decrease, let's insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over hook, pull through. Notice how you have 2 loops. Continue to insert your hook into the stitch after, yarn over hook, pull through. Now you have 3 loops. Yarn over hook again and pull through all 3 loops. Decrease is same thing as single crochet 2 stitches together, because you essentially are making 1 stitch out of the 2 stitches, therefore reducing the number of total stitch in this round. That's why they call it a decrease. Next, let's repeat the sequence again. So it's gonna be 2 single crochet followed by a decrease. Repeat the sequence 1 last time. 1 single crochet, 1 more single crochet, and then a decrease. Alright, now I'm going to pause my work at the end of round 9. You should have a total of 9 stitches. It might look a little bit messy still because we need to get rid of these tails, and what I'm going to do is kind of cut out some of the tails here to try to clean it up. And the best way to hide these tails is to put it inside of the piece that you have here. I'm going to use my tweezer. This one is used exclusively for my craft, and I'm gonna use that to help push these tails inside to hide it. Alright, as you can see, it looks a lot more neat now. The only tails you should have is this main one, which is attached to your current yarn, and then these 2 which came from the sleeve. We can leave them out for now. We will clean it up manually by sewing it and then hide it in later, but right now it's fine. For round 10, we are going to switch back to light blue yarn again, and to change color I need to undo my last stitch here. So I'm going to pull that yarn out, and I'm actually going to completely undo it because it's easier. We simply are going to remake the decrease once again, just until the part where you have 3 loops. Then grab your light blue yarn color, put it over your hook, and we're going to pull that through our 3 loops like this. Okay, and because now we are transitioning to light blue yarn, I will put this short end of the blue yarn and long end of the white yarn on the back side, right? Like this. So all we did so far is just switching to another color. Now it's time to begin round 10. Round 10, all we need to do is single crochet around. I'm going to insert my hook into the first stitch of round 10, and we need to first off secure the tails that came from color changing. I'm gonna wrap around those 2 tails over my hook as I make a single crochet. And if you find these tails to be in the way, you can clean it up now as well. I'm gonna just trim the white tails. Let me pause my work. Now I'm going to try to hide this short end of the white and also the blue. Hide it inside so it's not in your way. It should look much cleaner to work with. Now all we need to do is finishing round 10. Just make one single crochet in each stitch until you reach the end of the round. There we go. At the end of round 10, you should have a total of 9 stitches. Because this is the last round, let's finish it off with a long tail. We need a long tail because we need to also sew the arm later on. That length should be enough. Then finish off. Now it's time to clean up the sleeve tails over here. I'm going to use my needle. Let's insert the tail into my needle here, and this part should really be somewhere here. I'm simply going to insert the tail into here, and for the other one, let's sew it across like this. And then let's hide tail somewhere inside of the arm. I think this much is actually good enough because this side will not be seen because it's gonna be right next to the body like this. So the only visible side is this part, which looks pretty clean already. After you hide the tail or after you sew each time, I usually like to tie the tail into a knot for extra security. Then we can hide all of this inside the arm. Now is also a good time to add more stuffing into your arm. I like to stuff a lot because I like my plushie to be a bit more stiff rather than soft, because I normally put a lot of these guys on display, but it is your preference. If you want your plushie to be softer, you can add less stuffing, but you would want to add enough stuffing such that the plushie itself maintain its shape. Just a little bit more. Okay, I think this is good enough. Next, let's start making a ribbon. The ribbon will be made in 2 pieces. So we are going to start off with this piece number 1. First, make a new loop. and then you are going to chain 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then make 7 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. Again, make sure to stretch out the piece. You will repeat what you just made one more time. So let's chain 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then make 7 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now that you are done, let's finish it off. Now let's make the second piece of the ribbon. Make a new loop. Then chain 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then make 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 5 times again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then make 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. After this, finish off with the long tail. Next, we are going to make the inner ear, starting with the green color yarn. First, make a new loop. Chain 2, and then make 6 single crochet into the first chain. Not the loops, the hole in the middle end up being too big, you can always pull on this short end of the tail and the hole will get a bit smaller. For round 2 of the inner ear, we are going to increase for a total of 5 times. So before I start the second round, let me just insert the stitch marker area. Now let's increase. Okay, that's the first increase. That's the second increase. That's the third increase. The fourth increase. The fifth increase. This is where our last stitch is at. We will skip that stitch and simply finish off with a long tail. This is what the inner ear should look like. Now it's your turn to make one more of this inner ear in dark orange color. Next, we are going to make the ears. We will start off with the green ear. First, make a new loop. Then same thing, let's chain 2 times and then make 6 single crochet into the first chain. So at the end of the first round, you should have a total of 6 stitches. You can mark the end of this round over here. For round 2, you are going to increase in each stitch around. So let's start. There's 1 increase. So at the end of round 2, you should have a total of 12 stitches. For round 3, we are going to follow a sequence that is 1 single crochet followed by an increase, and repeat that for 6 times. One. Repeat that same sequence until you reach the end of the round. So at the end of round 3, you should have a total of 18 stitches. Make sure to count before proceeding. For round 4, the sequence is 2 single crochet followed by an increase. 1, 2, and then that's an increase. So repeat the same sequence until you reach the end of the round. At the end of round 4, you should have a total of 24 stitches. And for the next 2 rounds, round 5 and round 6, all you need to do is single crochet around, and I will see you at the end of round 6. This is the end of round 6. You should have a total of 24 stitches. For round 7, the sequence is 2 single crochet followed by a decrease. So let's start. 1, 2, then decrease, 2, and then decrease. Repeat the same sequence until you reach the end of round 7. This is the end of round 7. You should have a total of 18 stitches. For round 8, all you need to do is single crochet around. So I will see you at the end of round 8. Here's the end of round 8. You should have a total of 18 stitches. Once you're done, let's finish off. And for the ear itself, you will not have to add any stuffing. And additionally, you will also need to flatten the ear because that's how we are going to sew it onto the head. You will also need to make another ear in dark blue color. Using the light purple yarn, we are going to make the tail. First, you are going to make a new loop. And then we will chain 2 times. 1, 2. Then make 6 single crochet into the first chain. 6. That's the end of round 1. For round 2, we will increase 6 times. 1 increase per stitch. Let's start. That's the first increase. This is the 6th increase. At the end of round 2, you should have a total of 12 stitches. Make sure to mark the end of this round. For the next 2 rounds, round 3 and 4, all you need to do is single crochet around, and I will see you at the end of round 4. Here's the end of round 4. You should have a total of 12 stitches. For round 5, we will follow a sequence, and that is 2 single crochet followed by a decrease. Then repeat that for a total of 3 times. So let's start. There's 1 single crochet in the first stitch. There's another single crochet in the second stitch, and on the 3rd and 4th stitches we will decrease. Alright, repeat the sequence for 2 more times. This is the end of round 5. You should have a total of 9 stitches. After you are done, make sure to finish off with a long tail. Next, let's make a patch with purple yarn. First, you are going to make a new loop. Then chain 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then make 8 single crochet on these chains. 1, 8. After you are done with the first round, make sure to chain 1 time, and then you will turn your work to the back side to start round 2. In round 2, let's start off by making an increase in the first stitch. That's an increase. Then we will make 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the last stitch, let's make an increase. Now we are basically done with round 2, and at the end, let's chain 1 time and turn around your work like this to be ready for round 3. For this round 2, you should have a total of 10 stitches if you count along. For the next 3 rounds, round 3 to round 5, all we're going to do is making 10 single crochet until the other side, chain 1 and then turn. So I will show you how round 3 works. So let's do that. 1, 2, 10. Once you have 10 stitches, chain one time and then turn over your work. So this is the end of round 3. Round 4 and 5 is exactly the same. I will see you at the end of round 5. This is the end of round 5. You should have a total of 10 stitches still. For round 6, let's begin with an increase in the first stitch. There we go. Then make 8 single crochet. 1, 2, 8. In the last stitch, make an increase. There we go, and then chain one time and turn your work around. At the end of round 6, you should have a total of 12 stitches. For the next 5 rounds, round 7 to round 11, all we're going to do is make 12 single crochet until the end, chain 1 and then turn your work around. So I will demonstrate round 7 to you. One, 2, 12. Then chain 1 and turn your work around. At the end of round 7, you should have a total of 12 stitches. Repeat the same thing for 4 more rounds until round 11. At the end of round 11, you should have a total of 12 stitches. For round 12, let's start off by making an increase in the first stitch. That's an increase. Then let's make 10 single crochet. 1, 2, 10. And then in the last stitch, make an increase. Chain one time and then let's turn the work around to the other side. So at the end of round 12, we should have a total of 14 stitches. For the next 16 rounds, you are going to make 14 single crochet until the end, chain 1 and then turn your work. I will show you what round 13 looks like. 1, 2, 13, 14. Chain 1, then turn. This is the end of round 13. You are going to continue this for 15 more rounds until round 28. So here's the end of round 28. You can see that the patch is getting a lot longer now. For round 29, let's start by making 1 decrease in the first 2 stitches. Here. Then we are going to make 10 single crochet. 1, 10. As for the last 2 stitches, let's make a decrease. chain one time, then turn to the other side. At the end of round 29, you should have a total of 12 stitches. For the next 5 rounds, round 30 to round 34, all you're going to do is making 12 single crochet, chain 1 and then turn. Repeat that for 5 rounds. I will see you at the end of round 34. I'm at the end of round 34. You should have a total of 12 stitches. For round 35, let's start by making a decrease. Then make 8 single crochet. 1, 2, 8. For the last 2 stitches, make a decrease. Here. Then chain 1 time and turn your work around to the other side. At the end of round 35, you should have a total of 10 stitches. For the next 3 rounds, round 36 until round 38, all you need to do is making 10 single crochet until the end, then chain 1 and turn. I will see you at the end of round 38. This is the end of round 38. You should have a total of 10 stitches. For round 39, let's start off by making a decrease. Then make 6 single crochet, 1, 6. For the last 2 stitches, make a decrease. Then chain 1 time and turn your work around. At the end of round 39, you should have a total of 8 stitches. For round 40, all we need to make is 8 single crochet, and round 40 will be our last round. 1, 8. After you are done, let's finish off. So here's the finished piece. As you can see, it's a long patch. For the cape, we are going to use this red color yarn. First, make a new loop, then chain 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. After that, make 6 single crochet. 1, 6. Then chain 1 and then turn around the work. At the end of round 1, you should have a total of 6 stitches. For round 2, let's start by making an increase. Here. Then make 4 single crochet. 1, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then let's make an increase. And then chain 1 time and turn your work around to the other side. At the end of round 2, you should have a total of 8 stitches. For round 3, you should make 8 single crochet, 1 and then 8. After that, chain 1 and turn to the other side. At the end of round 3, you should have 8 stitches. For round 4, let's start by making an increase. That's 1 increase. Then make 6 single crochet. 1, 6. Then in the last stitch, make an increase. There. Then chain 1 and turn your work to the other side. At the end of round 4, you should have a total of 10 stitches. For round 5, just make 10 single crochet. 1, 10. Chain 1 time, then turn your work around. At the end of round 5, you should still have 10 stitches. For round 6, let's start by making an increase in the first stitch. That's an increase. Then single crochet 8 times. 1, 8. Then make an increase in the last stitch. There we go. Then chain 1 and turn your work around. At the end of round 6, you should have a total of 12 stitches. For round 7, let's make 12 single crochet. 1, 12. Chain 1 and turn your work around. You should still have a total of 12 stitches at the end of round 7. For round 8, let's start by making an increase in the first stitch. There. Then make 10 single crochet. 1, 10. In the last stitch, make an increase. Chain 1, then turn your work to the other side. Now you should have a total of 14 stitches. For round 9, let's make 14 single crochet. 1, 14. Right now we are not going to chain 1 and turn, but instead we will change from red color to yellow color. In order to do that, I'm going to undo my last single crochet and I'm only going to single crochet this in this last stitch halfway. So yarn over hook, pull through. I'm not gonna yarn over hook and pull through again, but instead, once you have 2 loops over here, let's grab the yellow color yarn, put it over your hook, and then you're gonna pull that through to complete the last single crochet, as you can see here. Okay, now we have the long red tail and then the short yellow tail. Make sure to hold that together as you crochet. Now with the yellow yarn, we're going to yarn over hook and then pull in order to chain, and you're gonna turn around to the side after you are done. So this is the end of round 9. You should have a total of 14 stitches. For round 10, we will continue to crochet with yellow color yarn, and we are going to make a total of 14 single crochet. But notice that we still have these tails hanging around, right? So in order to do that, I'm going to pull these two tails kind of like upward, and I'm gonna start inserting the hook into my first stitch, and make sure that I wrap all these excess tail over my hook as I crochet. So let's make a single crochet here, and also on the next single crochet that I make, I want to make sure that I wrap around the tail over my hook as I crochet. So let's do that a couple more times. Just keep going with the single crochet. This is my third single crochet. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 6. Okay, this is good enough. Right now we're going to try to clean up the excess tail. We already sort of hide it in these single crochet. What I like to do is I will hold on to this piece and I'm gonna pull on the tail that I want to get rid of. You're going to see like the piece kind of starting to curve, which is totally fine. All we need to do is cut out the tails that you don't want here. So I'm gonna trim, but not too close. Now kind of put those tails aside. You can start pulling your piece back, like stretch it back, and you will notice that all the tails are hidden among these single crochet. So now it's time to continue. We made a total of 6 single crochet, so let's continue to the next one. 7, 14. I'm gonna chain 1 and turn, and this is the end of round 10. You should have a total of 14 stitches. For round 11, which is also our last round, let's make 14 single crochet. 1, 14. So this is what the cape should look like. Now that you are done, let's finish it off. Next, we are going to make a crown with the red color yarn. Start off by making a new loop, then chain 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Make 5 single crochet. 1, 5. Then chain 1 and turn to the other side. At the end of round 1, you should have a total of 5 stitches. For round 2, start off by making a decrease in the first 2 stitches. Then make 1 single crochet, and then in the last 2 stitches make a decrease. After that, chain 1 and turn your work to the other side. At the end of round 2, you should have a total of 3 stitches. For round 3, let's start by making a decrease in the first 2 stitches, and then on the last stitch, make 1 single crochet. Now chain 1 and turn your work to the other side. At the end of round 3, you should have a total of 2 stitches here. Now for round 4, you just need to make 1 decrease. And at the end of round 4, you will not need to chain and turn. You just make 1 decrease and that's it. So you should have 1 stitch left in this round. And if you look closely, by the end of round 4, we have a triangle shape. You need to make 7 more of these triangles because we want to have 8. So in order to do that, just repeat round 1 through round 4 to make each triangle. So just to show you the progress, I just made the second triangle and it should look something like this. So keep going until you get a total of 8 triangles. So now we have 8 triangles, and basically to join them, you're going to put the first triangle and the 8th triangle next to each other, and we are going to join by making 1 single crochet on the first triangle. Once the triangle chains are joined, we will call this the end of round 4. So now we're ready to begin round 5. For round 5, we will make 5 single crochet along each triangle base. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm only making 4 because we already made 1 single crochet to join for that first triangle. Let's continue on to the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because we have 8 triangles and there's gonna be 5 single crochet for each of the triangle, at the end of this round 5, we should have a total of 40 single crochet or 40 stitches. So here is the end of round 5, as you can see. Round 6 is same thing. You will simply single crochet around. So here's what round 6 looks like. Once you are done, let's finish off with a long tail. It's time to make the mouth. We are going to use this white yarn. Let's make a loop, then chain 2 times, and then make 6 single crochet into the first chain. 1, 6. This is the end of round 1, and you should have a total of 6 stitches. For round 2, we will increase in each stitch until the end of the round. It's 1, round 6. So at the end of round 2, you should have a total of 12 stitches. For round 3, we will follow a sequence that is 1 single crochet, then increase, and repeat that sequence for 5 more times. At the end of round 3, you should have a total of 18 stitches. For round 4, let's follow a sequence, and that is 2 single crochet. This is 1, 2, then followed by an increase, as you can see, 1, 2, and then an increase. Repeat the same sequence for 5 more times. At the end of round 4, you should have a total of 24 stitches. For round 5, all you need to do is make 20 single crochet, and then for the last 4 stitches, we will skip that. Here I have crocheted 20 single crochet here up to this point, and as you can see, I'm skipping the last 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are going to end round 5 over here, so let's finish it off with the long tail. So this is what the mouth piece should look like. Next, we are going to crochet the head. However, the yarn that I'm using is size 2 or fine weight yarn, and because of that, I'm going to crochet these 2 yarn together. Alright, if you want to use a size 4 yarn or medium weight yarn, that's fine as well, but because I like the color that I find for size 2 yarn, I'm gonna use this one instead. Let's start out by making a new loop. Now let's yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through to make 2 chains, and after that we will make 6 single crochet into the first chain, and then 6. So at the end of round 1, you should have a total of 6 stitches. Round 2, all we are going to do is increase. So for each stitch around, let's make an increase. At the end of round 2, you should have a total of 12 stitches. In round 3, we will follow a sequence, and that is 1 single crochet, then an increase, that's 1, that's 1 single crochet, then an increase. Let's repeat that sequence for 5 more times. At the end of round 3, you should have a total of 18 stitches. For round 4, we will repeat a sequence that is 2 single crochet followed by an increase, 1, 2, 3, that's an increase. Repeat the same sequence for 5 more times. At the end of round 4, you should have a total of 24 stitches. For round 5, the sequence is 3 single crochet followed by a decrease, 1, 2, 3, that's an increase. Then repeat the same sequence for 5 more times. At the end of round 5, you should have 30 stitches. For round 6, the sequence is 4 single crochet followed by an increase, 1, 4, that's an increase. Then repeat the sequence for 5 more times. At the end of round 6, you should have a total of 36 stitches. For round 7, the sequence would be 5 single crochet followed by an increase. 1, 5, and that's an increase. So make sure to repeat 5 more times until the end of the round. At the end of round 7, you should have a total of 42 stitches. For round 8, the sequence is going to be 6 single crochet followed by an increase. 1, and then 6. That's an increase. Repeat the sequence for 5 more times. At the end of round 8, you should have a total of 48 stitches. For round 9, the sequence is 7 single crochet followed by an increase. 1, 7, 'That's an increase. Then make sure to repeat the sequence for 5 more times. At the end of round 9, you should have a total of 54 stitches. For round 10, the sequence is 8 single crochet followed by an increase. 1, 8, that's an increase right there. Then make sure to repeat the sequence for 5 more times. At the end of round 10, you should have a total of 60 stitches. For round 11, all you need to do is 9 single crochet followed by an increase. 1, 9. Then increase. Then repeat the sequence for 5 more times. At the end of round 11, you should have a total of 66 stitches. And for the next 11 round 12 through round 22, all you need to do is single crochet around, so make 1 single crochet in each stitch, and I will see you at the end of round 22. Right now I'm at the end of round 22. You should have a total of 66 stitches. For round 23, you're going to make 9 single crochet followed by a decrease. 1, 9, and then decrease. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then decrease. Repeat that same sequence for 5 more times. At the end of round 23, you should have 60 stitches. For round 24, the sequence is 8 single crochet followed by a decrease. 1, 8. decrease right there. Then repeat this sequence for 5 more times until the end of the round. At the end of round 24, you should have 54 stitches. For round 25, the sequence is 7 single crochet followed by a decrease. 1, 7, that's a decrease. Same thing, repeat the sequence for 5 more times. At the end of round 25, you should have 48 stitches. For round 26, the sequence is 4 single crochet followed by a decrease. 1, 4, that's a decrease. Then make sure to repeat the sequence for 7 more times. At the end of round 26, you should have 40 stitches. For round 27, the sequence is 3 single crochet followed by a decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a decrease. Then repeat the sequence for 7 more times. At the end of round 27, you should have 32 stitches. This is a good time to start adding stuffing as well. So you can take your time, make sure that the hip piece is stuffed uniformly. I usually take a couple minutes just to add stuffing myself. Now we just have 2 more rounds left. For round 28, you are going to make 1 single crochet followed by a decrease, and you have to make that for a total of 10 times. It's going to be a little bit harder to crochet now that I have a bunch of stuffing here, but you can always just kind of push it down with one of the fingers. So let me do 1 single crochet here and then decrease. So 1 single crochet, then decrease. Repeat it for 10 times, and I will see you close to the end of the round. It won't be the end of the round quite yet. Okay, we are near the end of round 28. After you repeat the sequence for 10 times, you will notice that there will be 2 stitches left in this round. And for the last 2 stitches, all you need to do is make 1 decrease. Alright, so now we are at the end of round 28 and you should have 21 stitches. And then for the rest of this head, you're simply going to keep making decreases until there are 8 stitches left. So I will see you there. So once you make enough decreases until you have 8 stitches remaining, you are good to go. Finish this off. For the eyes, we are going to use this dark brown embroidery thread as well as the 1.5 mm hook. You will start off by leaving some yarn at the beginning and then make a new loop. Chain 14 times. 1, 2, 13, 14. After that, make 13 single crochet. 1, 13. So after you are done, just simply finish off with a long tail. Now make 3 more of this piece. For the shakes, we will be using the pink embroidery thread. Start out by making a new loop using your 1.5 mm hook. Then chain 2 times and make 6 single crochet into the first chain. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the first round. In the second round, all you need to do is making an increase in every stitch. So here's the end of round 2, and you should have 12 stitches. For round 3, we will follow a sequence, and that is 1 single crochet followed by an increase. That's 1 single crochet. Alright, that's an increase. You need to repeat that same sequence for 5 more times. At the end of round 3, you should have 18 stitches. And once you're done, you simply can finish it off with a long tail. And make sure to make 1 more piece for this. Next, we are going to make the dots. You will need to make 4 dots in blue, pink, green, and yellow color, 1 of each. We'll start off with the pink by making a new loop, and the dots will be going on to the cape. Chain 2 times, then make 6 single crochet into the first chain. 6. After you're done, just finish off. Here are the dots in yellow, green, blue, and pink. Next, we are going to make the round shaped gem for the crown. There will be a total of 7 round shaped gems. You will make 1 yellow color, 2 of the blue, 2 of the green, and then 2 of the pink. And for this tutorial, I will show you the pink color one, and they all look the same. So start off by making a new loop, chain 2 times, and then kind of the same thing. You would just make 6 single crochet into the first chain, and then 6. That's the end of the first round. For the second round, let's make an increase for every stitch around. That's 1 increase. So you will just need to repeat it 5 more times for round 2. At the end of round 2, you should have 12 stitches. Cut out with a long tail. Here are the round shaped gems. We have 2 in blue, 1 in yellow, 2 in pink, and then 2 in green colors. Next, we are going to make diamond shaped gems. There will be a total of 5 diamond shaped gems in 3 different colors. 2 of them is yellow, 2 are blue, and 1 is pink. So I'm going to show you how to do that with this pink color thread. You will start off by making a new loop, then let's chain 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that, make 4 single crochet. One, 4, then chain 1 and turn your work around. So this is the end of round 1. You should have a total of 4 single crochet or 4 stitches. For round 2, Let's make 4 single crochet. One and then 4. Then chain 1 time and turn to the other side. This is the end of round. I meant to say row 2. For row 3, it is the same exact thing as row 2, so I will see you at the end of row 3. So here I'm at the end of row 3. You should have 4 stitches still. For row 4, all we need to do is make 4 single crochet. 4. Now that we are done, let's finish off with a long tail. Now make sure to finish making the rest of the gems. Here are the diamond shaped gems, 2 in blue, 1 in pink, and then 2 in yellow color. Next, we are going to make stars. You have to make 3 stars total. It's going to be in blue, pink, and green color. I will show you how to make that using this pink color thread. Start off by making a new loop, then chain 2 times, 1, 2, and inside of the first chain, let's make 5 single crochet. 1, 5. That's the end of round 1. In round 2, what we're going to do is making an increase in every stitch of this round. So this is the end of round 2. You should have 10 stitches total. For round 3, we will make the corner of the star. So let's start by making 3 chains. And then after that, you will make 1 single crochet, followed by a double crochet. To make a double crochet, you will need to yarn over hook, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over hook again, and pull through. Notice how now you have 3 loops. You will yarn over hook again and pull through only the first 2 loops. Then you will be left with 2 more loops. So yarn over hook again and pull through the last remaining loops. Notice how now you have kind of like a mini circle. You have kind of a mini triangle. And if you look at your circle here, this is actually our next stitch, but we will skip that one and move on to the stitch after. So this one, let's insert your hook into there. Now let's make a slip stitch. To do that, you yarn over hook and pull through. Now you have 2 loops. You will pull the first loop into the second loop for a slip stitch. You see how now the triangle is connected to the circle. So we got 1 corner of the star. We just need to make it's gonna be 4 more for this round 3. This is the end of round 3. You should be able to see the star shape very clearly. Now is a good time to finish off. Here are the stars in pink, blue, and green. Next, we are going to join these 2 legs, the orange and the green leg. In order to join the leg, we are going to use this color. the light orange color, and each of these pieces, the yarn is size 2, meaning that they are fine weight yarn, and because the yarn is much thinner, I'm going to use 2 pieces and crochet them together. So first let's make a new loop, and let's put the green leg aside for now. We will start off with the orange leg. So basically I'm going to insert my hook into any of the stitch of the orange leg. Any is fine. And then I will make a single crochet there. This will be round 9 where the legs will join. Okay, now that I make 1 single crochet there, I need to make 7 total, so let's make 6 more. 2, 7. And now let's chain 2 times. 1, 2. Let's bring back the green leg, and then insert your hook into any stitch is fine. Okay. Then on the green leg, we will make 14 single crochet. 1, 2, 8, and because this is where we finish off, when you do the next stitch, just make sure to wrap the tail, put it on top of your hook, and then crochet so that it doesn't get in the way. Okay, how many is this now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14. As you can see. Now let's make 2 single crochet in the middle chains that we made. Okay, that's 1 single crochet, and then do the same for the other chain. Okay, that's the second one. Okay, 1 single crochet, that's the second single crochet. And then the next stitch we have to crochet on the orange leg, and because we also have this tail. Okay, let me insert my hook into the next stitch on the orange leg, put this tail over my hook as I crochet. Okay, that's 1 single crochet. We need to make 6 more. 2, and then 7. So where we end at 7 will be the end of this round 9. Make sure to insert the marker so you know where it is. And here is what round 9 should look like after both legs are joined. If the tails, the green and orange tails, are in the way, let's chop it off. So it should be much cleaner now. At the end of round 9, you should have a total of 32 stitches. Now let's continue making round 10. Start by making 7 single crochet. 1, 7. Then in the middle here, let's make 1 double crochet and then another double crochet. So as for the double crochet, you will need to yarn over hook before you insert your hook into a stitch there. And then I will yarn over hook again and pull through. Notice how now you have 3 loops. Yarn over hook again, pull through the first 2 loops. Now you have 2 more loops remaining. Yarn over hook again and pull through those 2 remaining loops. This is a double crochet. We will make 1 more in the next stitch. Alright. Then after that, let's make 14 single crochet on the side. 1, 13, 14. Next, let's make 2 double crochet, 1 in each stitch. There. Then make 7 single crochet, 1 and then 7. Make sure to insert the stitch marker back in. So here is the end of round 10. You should have 32 stitches total. For round 11, we will alternate between this light orange color and white color. First, we will make 5 single crochet and then change to white color. So let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then for the 5th single crochet, I'm only making it halfway so that I can grab my white color yarn. I'm gonna wrap the yarn over the hook and then pull through to finish this single crochet. Now holding on to the tails, put it in the back. Right, then we can keep going with white color. So we need to make 6 single crochet, and as you change to a new color, make sure to wrap the tails over the hook to secure it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on the 6th we will change color again, so I'm gonna leave it halfway. Now let's clean up. I'm gonna trim out the old color and put any tails inside the legs itself to hide it. Okay, Let's change the color again back to light orange. And now we are going to make 21 single crochet until the end of the round with light orange. So let me secure the tail. Okay, that's one, and then we can trim this off. Okay, so all you need to do for this round is make 20 single crochet more until you reach the end of the round, and I will see you at the end of round 11. At the end of round 11, you should have 32 stitches total. For round 12, we will change between light orange color yarn and white color yarn once again, but let's continue with the light orange. We will make 4 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and then on the 4th one, let's only make halfway so that we can change to white color. Let's put that white yarn over your hook and then pull through. For the white color, let's make 8 single crochet, okay, that's 1, and I will clean off this tail right away. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. Only making it halfway so we can switch back to orange color. For the light orange color, we will make 20 single crochet total until the rest of the round. Okay, once you make 1 single crochet, let's clean this up and hide the rest of the tails inside here. Since I already made 1 single crochet here with the light orange yarn, make sure to make 19 more until you reach the end of this round. At the end of round 12, you should have 32 stitches total. For round 13, we will still be switching color, but let's start off with light orange. For light orange, we will make 4 single crochet, then switch to white. 1, 2, 3, and then 4, making it only halfway. Let's grab white yarn. Then for white color, let's make 3 single crochet. That's 1. Let's clean up the tails. Two, 3. Then make 1 decrease. There. Then 3 more single crochet. 1, 2, and then on the third one only halfway because we are changing color again. With light orange, we will make 11 single crochet. Okay, that's 1. Let me clean this off. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then make 1 decrease. Here it is. Oopsie, I dropped my yarn. After that, make 7 single crochet until the stitch marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. Right now is a good time to finish it off. I will finish it off with this, maybe this amount of length. It doesn't need to be too long. You can also start stuffing here if you'd like, but I'm gonna wait a little bit more. We are going to make the shirt next. For the next part, let's grab the shirt hem that you have made. We will join this shirt hem like this around the body using white yarn. So in order to do that, let's first make a new loop with white color yarn, and with the shirt hem As you can see, there are two different sides of this. This is like one side, and then this is the other side. So if you look here, you can see, front and back loop. And then if you look up here, it's like not too much to see, I guess. So I want this side to be the side facing downward when we join the shirt hem. So I'm gonna put this here on the back side of the legs, because this is the belly part, the white, so this is the back side. So what are we doing with this white loop? We are going to push your hook into this rightmost corner of the shirt hem, okay? And then you will insert your hook into this middle stitch on the back side of the join legs body portion. And now you will crochet these two pieces together by using a single crochet. So yarn over hook, pull through, and then yarn over hook, pull through both loops. Yep, just by making single crochet, you're now joining these pieces together. And we just need to do that all around until you reach the end of the round to join them completely. Alright, to continue, let's insert your hook into the next stitch of the shirt hem here, and then you have to insert your hook into the next stitch of the body here. Now make single crochet. Again, insert your hook into the next stitch of the shirt hem and insert the hook into the next stitch of the body. Then make single crochet. Yep, that's all it is. So you need to continue until you reach the end of the round. Okay, so I was joining almost the entire round now, but I want to pause here to show you that how to deal with these tails. So as you can see, there are two of the blue tails and then one of the white. And as you are making the last few single crochet, we want to wrap around these tails. So pick the white one, and then the top one of the blue one, we will wrap around the hook as you joining. Okay, and then just leave this the other blue tail out here for now. Okay, so now we are at the end of round 14. As you can see, there's only one blue tail, which is fine. Then you can see over here also the front is completely joined. At the end of round 14, you should have a total of 30 stitches. Before we proceed, I will just show you how to deal with this tail. Let's insert the tail into a needle. And we simply gonna clean this up, right? Okay. So I will insert tails here. Like that. Then it's pretty much clean up. And I'm gonna insert the needle inside. I'm gonna try to secure it a little bit more by grabbing some of the inner yarn there. here, that's pretty much it. Just hide the tail. Then you can see from the side. Oh, and don't forget to insert the stitch marker at the end of round 14 here. Okay. In round 15, we will need to change color to light blue yarn, but if we were to change the color using the same method that we did for the belly, the color change will not be seamless. So instead, what I'm going to do is I will cut this off and finish off here. Let's grab a needle. I will pull out the stitch marker for now. And what you will do is insert your needle not into this stitch but the one after. Then insert the needle into the middle of the stitch you finish off from here. This is how you can kind of clean up the edge. And then same thing, let me just grab a piece of yarn here so that I can secure my tail. And I can hide the rest of this inside. Now, instead of continuously changing color, we will just make a new loop of the blue color. And then this is still the back side. We can just, I think we started here. Just somewhere in the middle is good enough. After you insert your hook into the stitch in the, I guess in the middle stitch of the back side, you can just start crocheting using the blue yarn for round 15. So you need to make 7 single crochet, 1, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then decrease, then make 13 single crochet, 1, 13, make 1 decrease here, then make 6 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here, 1, and then 6, and we will clean up this round same way I did the round before. We want the color changing to look as smooth as I can, and I think this method is really the best one, at least for me. Okay. At the end of round 15, you should have 28 stitches total. Round 16 we will use white yarn, so let's make a new loop and start at the same spot. So just look for the middle spot on the back side. With white yarn you will follow a sequence. It will be 5 single crochet, then decrease. 1, 5, that's a decrease right there. 5 single crochet, decrease. Repeat that for 3 more times. At the end of round 16 you should have 24 stitches total, and here's what it looks like. I already have gone ahead and cleaned up the tails and stuff, and here's the front side. For round 17 we will use blue color yarn. Let's make a new loop. Then from the back side we will start in the middle stitch again. Approximately is fine. Let's make 2 single crochet. 1, 2, then decrease, and then make 2 more single crochet. 1, 2. So this is our sequence. 2 single crochet, decrease, and then 2 single crochet. Repeat the same sequence for 3 more times. This is the end of round 17, and you should have 20 stitches total. Here is the front. This is also a good time to add some stuffing. For round 18 we will use white color, so let's make a new loop, and we will start on the back side again. This is the middle stitch, I think. The sequence for this round is 2 single crochet followed by a decrease. 1, 2, then decrease, and repeat the sequence for 4 more times. At the end of round 18 you should have 15 stitches total. This is the front, and here's the back. We only have 1 more round to go for the body, and for round 19 we will switch back to blue color, so let's make a new loop. We will start round 19 in the back again, so I will insert my hook here. The sequence for round 19 is 3 single crochet followed by a decrease. So this is 1 single crochet, that's the second one, that's the third one, okay, that's the decrease. Then repeat this sequence for 2 more times. At the end of round 19 you should have a total of 12 stitches. I have cleaned up all my tails already. As you can see, this is the back side, And you can add more stuffing here too. For our assembly, let's start off with this cape. Insert this yellow tail into the needle, and let's try to clean off this part. Usually what I like to do is I'm gonna insert my needle over here and lightly pull through. That's good. Then what we can do is I'm gonna insert my hook. Oh, not my hook, my needle, sorry. Through the middle. As you can see, when I flip the needle back to the other side, you cannot see it because right now the needle is being inserting through the middle of the yarn here. Okay, just about that much in length is good, and then you can pull through gently again. Don't pull through too much. Then what we are going to do now is cut out this tail. You can pull through a little bit more. Cut the tail out and stretch out the piece. You won't even know that you used to have the tail here. It's hidden in here. Next step, you are going to grab the stars and dots that you have made and try to place them onto the cape. When you sew this, it's gonna be one thing at a time, but I just want to show you kind of where the placement of everything is. So something like this. Here's what the cape detail should look like. Next, let's sew on the gems for the crown. As you can see, there are a lot of gems. So please use this picture as your guide to know where to place each of the gems. Here's the finished crown. As you can see, we started off with this yellow diamond, then it's pink, green, yellow, blue, blue, green, pink, blue, blue, pink, and that's where it ends. Let's stuff the tail. Let's sew the tail to the butt, but first make sure you pin down the location so that it doesn't move when you try to sew the piece. With 2 pins, that should do. And you can use this long tail to do the sewing, basically. So here's how it looks once the tail is sewn on. Next, we are going to attach the arms. The blue arm will be next to the green leg, and the green arm will be next to the orange leg. Here's the looks after you sewn on the arms, and this is the back side. Next, we need to sew on this piece 1 of the ribbon. Then sew on ribbon piece 2 right on top of it. Then for this middle part, we will do many whip stitches so that the 2 ribbons would be attached to each other. And after a few whip stitches, this should look completely like a bow. Next, let's sew on the cape to the back of the body. Ta-da! Next, we are going to sew the inner ear right on top of the ear, just like this. For the blue ear, the inner ear will be green, and for the green ear, the inner ear will be orange. And here's what it should look like when you are done. Next, we are going to sew this patch, which I folded in half so that you can measure, from the center of the head down. This will be like the center of the patch, basically. And before you sew it on, make sure to pin a lot so the patch does not move. We don't want it to shift the location. And then it is very important to kind of check to see if it's symmetrical on both sides. We can turn this around and you can see that generally where the patch ends will be kind of halfway on the head, also on the side. It should be about the same. So this looks good. Here I just finished sewing the patch onto the head, as you can see. Next, let's sew the ears to the head. The ears are now sewn on. Next, we are going to sew on the eyes. The eyes will be X-shaped, and then we'll put the cheek blush right next to it. Right now, we're not gonna sew on the mouth just yet, but the reason I place on the mouth is so that I can get a more accurate position for the eyes and the cheek. So as you can see, the mouth will be placed toward the bottom of where that the patch ends, and then we'll have the eyes, which aligns with the top half of the mouth, and then this cheek blush will be at the bottom right corner of the eyes here. So let's sew it on. I just finished sewing the eyes along with the chic blushes. So here's the other side. Next, let's use dark brown color yarn to embroider the nose and mouth details. I just finished embroidering the nose and mouth details. Let's put the mouth piece back onto the face and pin it down. And then we are going to sew the mouth to the face. You could kind of adjust however you like it, but personally I like to make sure that the nose align with where the eyes is at, like the top edge of the eyes. Wow, this looks so cute after I sew on the face. Okay, so to start making the stitch detail, we are going to make a vertical line going down on the side of his face. Let's start from the top here, right under the ear is good. And then the line will just go straight down. Just make sure it's tight and not loose. Okay, so the next part is we're going to add stitches, like 1, 2, and then maybe 3 here. Alright, so I just finished one side of the stitches detail. Make sure to repeat for another side. Now let's sew on the crown on top of the head. I'm just gonna pick the side that I like the most. There. Now the crown is fully sewn onto the head, as you can see. Last but not least, let's sew the body to the head. Then you'll be done.